Hey YouTube, we're back with another guided gameplay, but keeping this one a bit more streamlined. If you caught the last video on Iberian Offensive, you already know the general idea. I'm walking you through a full round, talking through decisions, positionings, and the small things to help you play smarter and more consistently. Today we're switching things up and running the CZ3A1 SMG from Season 2. We'll go into the exact loadout here in a second. This gun is currently a top tier weapon in my opinion and really shines at the short to mid-range gunfights, providing a much more aggressive, fast-paced playstyle compared to our last video. In this one, we're playing around of Escalation on Liberation Peak, and it ends up being a strong one. We finish with, I believe, 58 kills, multiple vehicle moments as the gunner in the heli and in the tank, and we secure a solid win for the team. So this one's a mix of aggressive infantry play and taking advantage of opportunities when they come up. Let's jump into the setup. So with the vehicle focus flow on Liberation Peak, we're going with the engineer class today. Still using my default setup of the rocket launcher paired with the AV mines. And I would definitely suggest using the combat knife on these large maps just to help clear distances quicker to get back into the action. For my secondary, I'm using the M44. I've really been liking this lately. You know, you can switch up the sight for your preference. I like the 2X. I'm using the 8.3 7-inch long barrel. Of course, you're stuck with the 6-round magazine. I'm using the standard ammunition. For the CZ3A1, again, sight is a preference. I like just this standard OSA sight for the kind of close to mid-range gunfights. I'm really liking the violet laser for that accuracy while moving. I'm using just the standard suppressor to remove the in-world spotting, reduce the range for which we're spotted, obviously. I'm using the basic factory barrel, the stubby, ribbed stubby specifically, 30-round magazine, and just the standard ammunition. And this gun, again, really shines in those close to mid ranges. I think this is definitely one of the top meta SMGs at the moment. And if you kind of, single shot the distance, you can still hit your shots actually. It's a little bit more difficult, but you can still pull it off. Alright, so we're hopping into this one a little bit mid-match. I mean, it kind of just started. But again, we're going to be focusing, since this is a large map, we're really focusing in on kind of positioning and movement and recognizing the flow of the match pretty early, making some rotations when necessary. So obviously on these larger maps, the momentum can shift pretty quickly, and if you're not paying attention, it can get out of hand and you can become a landslide pretty quickly. So in this match, you'll see me kind of trying to rotate, notice when the central objectives are taken, pushing back over that way, and trying to handle the vehicles whenever possible. This is a fun round because I'm usually more infantry focused, but saw some unique opportunities to hop in a tank at some point, you'll see, and also hop in the gunner of a helicopter. It was actually one of my squad mates who was piloting, and he did a pretty good job. We were kind of locking down the central objectives for a while, which was fun. So oftentimes this E objective gets pretty heavily influenced by the vehicles, and it's another reason why I always like playing as engineer on this map, especially for Escalation. And you can kind of see already the impact that this SMG has. I mean, incredibly fast rate of fire, really good hip fire there, you can see. And so right here I'm just trying to minimize my exposure, let my health regen. You can see it's a contested objective, so I'm expecting some firefight here and want to make sure I have full health. So there's a sniper, of course, walking down that alleyway. I'm going to get out of the way here. Push back, kind of reassess. So I'm looking at the mini-map. You see a guy pops out there. No one's really showing up. Looks like someone's central here, so I'm going to move. Yeah, and you can see them, hovering right here on the central point. So we're just going to kind of take our time. It's always good to be patient. Let some help come in and kind of influence the flow a little bit, while still minimizing your exposure. So I'm keeping behind this barrier. I'm still central and still contesting, so that kind of helps our team, establish a footing. Now I'm going to push up here a little bit since we're starting to clear out. Now we switch the momentum, and just like that, we're going to take this objective pretty handedly. One thing I always find myself doing is actually using the RPG as a way to kind of scope in, because with this SMG I'm using only a 1x scope, so I don't get much zoom and I can't really see anything far away. The RPG actually acts as kind of like binoculars, which is nice. I tend to use that quite frequently. So we established E. I noticed they kind of snuck behind us and captured F, so I'm going to try to push over that way if I can. We don't want that momentum to shift behind us. Just take out that spawn beacon. Just kind of, you know, observing a little bit. Again, the patience is key here. People are often pretty aggressive and they'll just kind of run out into the open. Makes it pretty easy to pick off. So there's a guy right there. He's blended in. I didn't see him. But my focus now is let's see if we can get back to that F before the momentum shifts here. It's locked down right now at 3-3 for the objectives. So I take advantage of this tank and I hop in. Gives me an easy quick spawn right in the center. And also natural coverage, obviously. Just get some easy pickoffs here with the tank. I'm just trying to kind of communicate positioning here for the main driver where people are. You can double tap on the D-pad if you're on console as a spot when you're in the vehicle. It took me forever to figure out. I don't know why. It's not the same spotting as when you're on foot. So we're able to recapture F and we're kind of clearing out all of the additional enemies that were in the area. I'm just going to stay in the tank and see where this guy goes. See if we can pick off some more people. So I like that he's pushing C. We want to, again, kind of capture this central point. Keep that momentum pressure on the other team. But you can see there's a tank here contesting as well. So we're starting to get pretty low on health. I hop out, I'm engineer, I'm going to try to heal this up real quick. Always remembering your class and what the main function is, of course. You know, I always tend to be more offensive when I play as engineer, trying to take out enemy vehicles, but it's always good to remind yourself you can also repair your own teammates. I tend to forget that, which is bad. Heavily contested, but we definitely have the momentum and the numbers. We're up 5-1. But you can tell they're interested here. There's a bunch of people pushing. Poked his head out there, but I missed. As you can see, when we joined the match, you know, it was pretty even, but they took that first capture point pretty quick. But now we've shifted it back. We maintain those central positions, and as well as keeping our the command post closer to our spawns in our possession. So now we're gonna try to put the pressure on them. Let's see if we can move up to B. But again, I'm being patient. I know there's gonna be a lot of people over there, so I just want to kind of check it out, who runs out into the open, see if we can pick anyone off. Take out the little radar there. And then some guy, yeah, he pokes up behind, takes me out. See, he had good positioning there. I could just barely see his head. Nice little head glitch. And, you know, that's really what you want to be doing when you're out in the open like that, is minimize your exposure to the enemy team. It'll help you win those gunfights. Had he had a little bit more exposure, I might have had an opportunity to take him out instead. You can just see the rate of fire on this CZ is just insane. I finally unlocked it. It took me quite a while. Those battle passes, you know, if you're not really focusing on the challenges, can just be a grind. But I finally unlocked it, and man, is it good.
I'm fucking hit!
Trying to see if our teammate will come for the revive. Not sure if he's paying
I
attention.
need the medic!
That's all right. So you can see on Liberation Peak, this C objective is always heavily contested. It's always kind of good to put the pressure on there. There's always going to be a lot of enemies, a lot of firefight, a lot of tank gameplay, high action. So I was considering moving over to D, but they quickly took C, so we're going to stay this position, try to help out here, try to get some pressure on this tank. We actually end up getting the kill there, which is good. Helps out our teammates who are pushing, but this other team just took complete momentum there in the center, so they're all pushing forward. Right now I'm just trying to listen to see if I can hear footsteps, kind of camping a little bit, and yeah, it doesn't pan out. That was a bad place to sit with the exposure outside, but my goal there was really just to see, you know, I looked at the minimap and I saw everyone pushing, And yeah, I could have just run out and tried to win a few gun matches, but would have died instantly anyway. So I was trying to just listen, take more information around me. Didn't pan out. I picked a bad place to do it, but you know, that was kind of the mindset there. Same here. We can hear tons of people around us. So we're just going to be patient a little bit. And it's just chaos, so... Still just listening, kind of taking it in. I can hear footsteps above and around. But no one really pushes forward, so we're just going to make something happen. May not pan out. There's a guy, and we missed every shot.
Fuck! Need a
Looks like
medic!
we may get a revive here. And this enemy's still hanging around. Let's see if we can return the favor here. Probably a bit risky. And yeah, that guy came back, took us out. That's alright. So we actually got one of our squad mates in the helicopter. This could be interesting. Let's give it a shot. Playing as the gunner. And yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we'll stick with this. Pretty good visibility on this map, so we can see everyone, just easy targets. I don't usually like playing as vehicles just because I kind of like having a say in a direct impact on the momentum, kind of trying to capture points, switch the flow. But I think we can also have a pretty good impact here if you can pair up a good pilot and a good gunner, you can actually make quite a big difference. So you can take out a lot of the vehicles that are putting pressure on your infantry and really kind of help shift that momentum. So we're going to give it a go here and see how this pilot does and how I do it on the gunner. Don't usually do this. Yeah, he's a pretty good shot. Alright, took out the heli. Looks like we recaptured F, which is good. We're in a bit of a stalemate, fighting over C as usual. So I got the anti-ground vehicle rockets. But man, this is really good against infantry. So we're just going to put the pressure on them. And I'll let them get a foothold. You can see they're all kind of pushing the same area. We get a triple kill there. Take out this gunner, who I don't know what he's doing back there. See if we can take out another tank. Pretty good damage there. Really, as you start to put pressure on these ground vehicles, it gives your team a chance to push forward. So it's not just about racking up the kills, it's also about timely kills. So I'm trying to focus on that tank that was pushing E, and there's another one, so there's actually two vehicles over there. See if we can get one of them. Pilot's just kind of recuperating here. Yep, so we got one. That helps. Now we've really switched. Our team's really swapped the momentum here. We got 3 of the 4 objectives that are left. Let's get a few more kills here in the heli. So yeah, our team's not really pushing E. I mean, we're clearing it out, but man, this enemy team's really locking down here. Having pretty good rounds so far, 26 and 5. First place. We had a lot of captures at the beginning, which was good. I think that if we were kind of losing momentum here pretty quick, I'd probably hop out and get back on the ground and try to actually capture some of these objectives, but it's a bit of a stalemate. We're already up 2-1, so we're in a pretty good spot, and this pilot's doing well, so we're just going to keep playing the gunner and put pressure on the infantry down below. Missed that guy. A bit of a rough spot right here. Yeah. We kind of hovered there a little bit too long. But that was a good run. That pilot was good. I liked his kind of steady flow. It gave me some good shots on the gunner side. Alright, so let's go finish this cap on E. 1 contested. So again, when I'm playing these rounds, especially in Escalation, I'm really focused on not just individual objectives, but kind of the flow of them, right? So, you know, if you have all of your objectives in the back that are captured, you know, that's a pretty good wall and of momentum. But if you kind of dotted on which ones you have spread out, I'll try to focus and link these objectives because your team can spawn on one and then quickly move to the other. Right now, towards late game, obviously, everything's pretty much connected. It's a smaller map. That's just my mindset. And then, of course, as the map is large and starts shrinking, I'm always focusing on the mini-map. You know, there's someone contested there in the corner. There's two now, so I'm focusing in on that. Take out one. Always just trying to take in information, whether that's audio cues, the mini-map. You know, even just suppressing people, it gives your team just a chance to kind of push up and help make a difference. So I saw that guy on the mini-map running up. And now you can see the momentum swung a bit, so we need to push either C or D here. I don't really like our odds there. Yeah, there's a tank firing, so I'm going to push more over towards D. You can hear footsteps, and you can see a bunch of activity on the minimap. There's a guy pushing up. Our teammate's there to help. Nice. You can see a bunch of activity still down there on the minimap. Lots of activity on D. See if we can get any kind of an angle. Yeah, so there's tons of people here. I'm using the RPG again as some binoculars. I'll take one out there. And now, just tons coming up. Don't really want to reveal myself. Oh, yeah, and they saw me. If I'd had an assault rifle or even an LMG, that would have been easy pickoffs. Alright, so we've really lost momentum here. We got to push in. We got to capture one of these pretty quick. It's kind of crazy how fast this swings. We got some movement pushing up here. Just sliding around. I always try to slide into cover, obviously. I mean, I think that's kind of common sense, but it just, you want to minimize, again, your exposure. So as you're running through these open areas and you get close to cover, slide in, because, you know, that might give you that last bullet dodge that keeps you alive in a gunfight. And with the time to kill so low in this game, it really matters. Like, the second you see someone, you might already be dead. So it helps to kind of slide just preemptively, assuming that someone is going to see you and shoot you. Alright, so we're going to try to get a footing here. There's only one of us, but again, it kind of, your teammates will recognize that someone's capturing and they'll spawn you. See, like a squad mate just spawned. So now we have two versus one. You can see the guy right there. Get the assist. Teammate down, not sure if I can, yeah, alright, couldn't get him anyways. And just like that, we got teammates pushing in 3-1. I'm going to assume there's probably going to be a tank or vehicle rolling in. Yep, there's a tank on the minimap. Anytime this gets contested, it tends to attract the vehicles. So he's probably going to come up. Yeah, he's pushing. He's bringing a lot of numbers with him too. But again, we're just contesting. We still have good representation, and now it's just me, but hopefully we get some people spawning in. Trying to take this tank out. They're clearly repairing it. Yep, there was the guy. Got one. Now we're 6. Okay, we're highly outnumbered. This is where I tend to mess up quite frequently. So, trying to get that guy. Missed. Yeah, he got me. So in those situations, it's really just about staying calm. I'm not good at those. You know, you're just trying to make a difference. Buy some time. Get your teammates in there to get some help. Pair of bar squad here. Okay, so C was heavily contested. We spawned back on E just with our squad mates. Let's see if we can actually capture this. There's quite a bit of people, but we got a lot of representation on our team here. Looking at the mini-map, a lot of activity. There's a Jeep down there and a bunch of infantry. The guy just came up behind. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Aggressive. Now they got a tank rolling in. So I'm just pulling back a little bit, buying some time, being a little patient. Let my health regen. Let our numbers recuperate. There'll be more people that push in. Yeah, it's definitely one of the main focuses right now on the map. A lot of enemies, a lot of friendlies. They still have their tank. Again, here, I'm just trying to take in information. That's why you kind of see me stuttering around. Just trying to listen to audio cues, look at the minimap, try to get someone to fire to get their position. So we see 3 people here. One right by us on the minimap. He showed up. Make sure we take him out. Terrible shot. Being patient. We had help there, so we no need to rush out. Still looking at the minimap. We've got tons of enemies down below. Okay, we're gonna push up a little bit, see if we can help out. There's one. We're swapping the numbers now, so we got 6 on 2. Should be enough to capture it. Looking for those last 2 here. They look right on top of me. Here they are. Double kill. Tank's still here. Oh, he's weak. See if we can help there. And then nice, yeah, see. That was just a classic case of kind of combining patience, exposure, you know, watching the mini-map, listen for the audio, and using your class. So I recognized that tank was low after getting some of the infantry out of there, helped repair. It was kind of just a nice example there. You see a straggler here running, I'm not sure where he's going. Got him. Alright, now we're up 2-1 on objectives. Pushing back, I saw a straggler out here. Oh yeah, he got taken out by the tank. Sometimes those single guys aren't necessarily worth the effort, but sometimes they can really establish a footing, and you don't really want that, so it's good to kind of take them out early. It's not just for the kill, it's, you know, they might be planting a spawn beacon or waiting for their squad to deploy, and that can really screw you guys up if you're trying to capture a point. Pushing down here on D, I see a tank just kind of sitting. This guy up here. Get rid of him. He was going up for that plateau up top. Another guy. Tank somehow hasn't seen me yet. I was hoping to get a shot on the back. I'm sure most people know this, but in case you don't, if you actually aim at the back of the tank, it has the highest damage with an RPG. It was a pretty good run. Put a lot of pressure on the team. Still died, but you know, it just attracts attention away from the objectives. None of our team really pushed up and took advantage of that, but still a nice little run. So I see a teammate down on D. Let's see if we can get over there and try to help him. Alright, he's down. Okay. So I see a lot of activity on the minimap, just taking in information. A lot of people over there. Somehow make it out of there. I imagine they're going to push here in a second. Just buying time again, let the health regen. No point to rush out, you just die with 1 or 2 bullets. I see a guy down here. See if he runs out. Yeah, he runs out. You can just see the action on this CZ, it's nuts. Lose that gunfight. We really need to find a good point here to kind of switch this momentum. They're going on a run. Gotta get rid of this tank. Took out the engineer who was repairing it. No point shooting the tank if he's just actively repairing it. Somehow didn't get damage there. They have they have an anti-missile on the back of the tank. So being a little aggressive there, you know, I'm noticing the rounds getting out of hand, so I was trying to make an effort there too much of an effort, I guess you could say, to take that tank out. Wasn't paying attention to my surroundings, super exposed, and I paid for it. Nevertheless, our team captured D. Somehow we got C out of that, so we really shifted that. I'm not sure how we pulled that off, but we're now back on top here. There's some guy up above, teammate. Ah, 2 of them. So now they're going to be in kind of desperation mode to capture one of these. You know, in these situations, sometimes I try to push for that last objective, try to really put the pressure on them. There's a guy camping here, but of course they're going to be doing the same in reverse. So sometimes it's good to play defense. You kind of just need to play it out. There's a lot of people pushing C right now, so it might have been a good idea for me not to just run out there and to actually just kind of stay by C and kind of play defense. So I'm going to go back up there and just check it out again, see how much pressure there is. They're working on D, but it looks like our team's got that under control. So nobody's contesting it. I was looking back towards D here to see. Looks like we're good. Just taking a different angle so I'm not running out in that alley or straight in front. And you can see they're still pushing from behind from E. We got multiple angles to defend here. Yeah, so you can see the CZ, you know, you can still get those shots from mid to long range, but you definitely need to tap the trigger, put it into more of a semi-auto mode. But it's still good, high damage. I imagine we'll see a nerf to this in Season 3 in the next month. So I'm in a bad position here. They're obviously really need to capture C, otherwise this match is going to be over. So they're really pushing. The tank's there. And I'm stuck. Can't really move. There's not much you can do here. Just try to get a shot on the tank. Put some pressure on him. Try to run out. Yeah. So they actually managed to halt that momentum. This is a really close game. And of course, fell to my death. Didn't do my role like I should have. And this is a good opportunity to, you know, recognize patience. So I saw that quick switch in momentum there, so I was trying to jump out there real quick and get back to C. But again, you can often do better if you just take your time and look. So right now I'm just, you know, let's just keep E. I see there's a guy contesting it. Let's try to find him. There he shows up on the mini-map. It's a pretty good round. High kill gameplay. You know, it helps when these rounds go to the very bitter end. It just, you know, prolongs the gameplay, of course. But pretty good round overall. You know, a lot of vehicle gameplay, a lot of infantry. Yeah, so, you know, curious to hear what you guys think about this style of gameplay. You know, I'm obviously more into the no commentary gameplay, but thought it could be interesting if you guys just kind of listen to my thoughts of what I'm thinking about as I go through a round in general. And so I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below for any specific maps, rounds, or loadouts you want me to try. Consider subscribing if you want to see more walkthroughs and other no commentary gameplay. And as always, spread some positivity, and I'll catch you in the next one.